What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Sunshine, and today I want to talk to you guys about a topic that everybody has been talking about. It's been going on all week, where the driver in Colorado got sentenced to 110 years for the accident that took place 2 years ago on I-70 in Colorado. And first, I just want to tell you guys, like, I've been thinking about it. I've been talking about it to other drivers, and I wanted you guys to know, first off, today, after hearing the news to that, today while I was in my dock waiting to get unloaded, there was a truck driver that backed into my trailer and knocked off, he pushed my mirror in, and he knocked off my refrigeration light that lets me know what's going on with my food. It lets me know if the temperature is off track. And he also did it in a side piece to my trailer, but it didn't break a hole into it. And after hearing the sentence that Mr. Rogel got in Colorado, this truck driver got out of his truck, and he was shaking, and he was trying to fix my mirror and everything. And I even allowed him to duct tape my refrigeration unit back on. And I told him, you know what, after that sentence, you know, I think I'm going to give you a pass. I'm an owner operator, and I'm going to give you a pass because honestly, that sentence has been heavy on my mind. And I would like to say my deepest condolences to the families of the people who lost their lives in that accident. I also watched a clip of the sentencing where the young man, well, he was 26, but I watched it where he said that he would much rather, he asked God that why couldn't it have been him instead of the lives. And honestly, that was my perception of the topic, as to we as truck drivers, or even I had to go back to when I first became a truck driver. I was excited about becoming a trucker. I was very determined to become a truck driver, and I was very competitive with myself, and so competitive that I did not. So I was so competitive that I did not understand fully the magnitude of how serious it was once I entered the trucking industry. And I remember getting my CDL license on the 3 days after my birthday. It came, and I started out different. I had my authority where I was able to book my own load. And mind you, my business was based in Detroit, Michigan. I say this to say my first load that I booked myself with getting my CDL was from Detroit, Michigan to Salt Lake City, Utah. And let me tell you guys, through that excitement, it wore off quickly, because as I took that trip from Detroit to Salt Lake City, I experienced pretty much everything, a short sample of everything in my trucking, of what it was that I was gonna face in trucking. Every different weather condition. I remember hitting so many birds with my truck. Like, there was so many things happen. I was watching signs for watch out for all different kinds of animals. And when I got closer to Salt Lake City, Utah, and I got closer to the mountains and hills, I began to understand and really feel the magnitude of how serious it is, and how I can take the lives of someone or myself with that equipment. And I also began to realize that the equipment that I was driving in was not suitable for that trip. And when I realized that, it was a more older truck that I had just purchased, and I began to pray and ask God, like, my excitement for being a trucker faded, and I began to pray and ask God, please, if you can get me back home, if you can get me back home, I will never take this journey again unprepared. I will make sure I fully understand the magnitude of trucking and how serious it is and how prepared I have to be, because I do want to be a trucker. I do want to make money. I do want to make a good living, because that's what we want as new truckers. But we also have to be prepared in understanding the safety that we have to enforce and exercise around us, and practice, because I learned really fast that I am driving a machine, and that machine can take my life or the life of others, but I am innocent in my intentions. My intentions is to be a successful person and to take care of my family. We as new truckers and as seasoned truckers, when we come out on this road, we do not have any intentions to take the life or lives of other people. And we also do not have any intentions to lose our lives. So I feel for this man, because it took me back to when I became a trucker. And as I drive every day, I have to make sure that my equipment is suitable for the road. And I also drive with my daughter, so of course I have another life that I have to think about constantly. But let me tell you something about trucking and about equipment. Equipment and anything that is man-made can and will fail at some point in time, and that's why it is called an accident. As crazy as this is very intense, because you're dealing with lost lives, and that is why the sentencing is what it is. But I do believe that people should look, the law enforcers should look, in this instance, they should look at the fact that this man did not have any intentions on taking lives, and as well as the equipment that he was driving. I would also look into the equipment that he was driving, and also, in ignorance, this man did not have that much experience. So as a dispatcher myself, when I'm dealing with drivers that do not have that much experience, my common sense through my driving and my experience, between common sense and just knowing about trucking, I would never dispatch a truck driver with that experience in that area unless they have that experience. I ran a team lane from West Memphis, Arkansas to Henderson, Colorado, and I saw some of the craziest things. I cannot imagine sending someone that way. Also, when you're going that way, you have to have some really good equipment. So I would investigate the equipment that was given to him, because if that equipment malfunctioned, and I'm not trying to come to his defense, but I'm just saying that all things need to be taken into consideration in this sentencing. And I do believe that more people should be held accountable for this. In those people, I mean the trucking company that he works for, because everybody holds some level of responsibility and accountability to this situation, considering it is a trucking company. So the trucking company is the one that issued the equipment to him. We do not always, as drivers, we do not always know, we're not fully aware of the equipment that we're being placed in, and sometimes we don't find out. Yes, we're allowed to do a pre-trip, but sometimes you don't figure things out with a truck until you're running and rolling down the road. But this is not in his defense, because I do not know what kind of malfunctions his equipment had prior. But the trucking company has a history of the truck, mechanical history of the truck. But I do feel, in my opinion, that they should be investigated as well. This driver was not intoxicated. He was not under the influence of any controlled substances. He was just driving, in my opinion, it seems as if he was just driving in an area that that required more experience. You have places within the U.S. that you do not send inexperienced drivers to. And there are places, I've been driving for 6 years, and there are places that I wouldn't send myself to because I do not want to take the chance, because it requires a higher level of experience, or it's high risk. So the location in itself was a high risk location. So that should be taken into consideration with the sentencing. And I have to be careful with my words, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to defend this trucker, but also I want you to just have it's just my opinion. I want you to know, like, imagine the new truckers that are coming out. There's already a shortage of truckers. Imagine the new truckers that are coming out into this industry. They have to have on their mind that if they make one wrong move, if they make an accident, if you never know what your mind is going to do and how you're going to react. We take defensive driving courses. We have so many different driving courses, but it's a whole different ball game when you're actually in that emergency situation. Sometimes, yes, he did drive past an emergency escape ramp, but sometimes when you're in that situation, your mind blanks out, and you can have all the training and then watch and complete and pass all the tests stating that you understand what you are learning, but hands on, when that is happening and you're driving and your vehicle you lose your brakes, nobody knows what happened with him. His life may have flashed before his eyes. He may have lost all of those learning methods. When you think you're about to die, you never know what is going on. So people are saying, oh, he ran past an escape ramp and so many things, but you never know what's in your mind when your vehicle is moving that fast and you can't. Maybe he didn't see it, but I'm not giving him reasons or anything. I just want you guys to have a different perception than he took lives, as if his intentions were to take those lives. And for the drivers that are protesting, honestly, if I wasn't on my load, and I don't even go to Colorado, but honestly, if I wasn't on my load and I didn't have situations happening like with my truck, I probably would stand for him too, because for the new drivers that are coming out here on this road, they have to face that if they make a mistake and this happens, the career that they're trying to take to better their lives, they could possibly be facing 110 years due to a mistake. And we do have a shortage of drivers. So imagine this, when new drivers are coming into the industry, they have to look at this as an example. So I'm not saying that he should not get any time, but I just feel like the time sentence that he was issued is it's too much. It's too much. I think it should be shortened. So that's my opinion on the Colorado case. And again, my deepest condolences to the families who lost their lives. And I just wanted to share with you guys what was on my mind. I would like to know what you guys think. So definitely leave your comments below. I'll talk to you guys later.